What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and X? Welcome to another video of Vision 24/7 Vision. I'm your host, Vision. I want to talk to you about the Mississippi State Bulldogs this year, 2025-26 season. Can Jeff Lebby lead our Mississippi State Bulldogs into a bowl game this year? In 2025 season, we'll see. This is Jeff Lebby's second season, coming off a 2-10 season last year, one of the most horrible, one of the most ridiculous, one of the most pathetic seasons in Mississippi State history, only winning 2 games, 0 SEC games won last year. Jeff Lebby returns. Our odds are 3.5 victory for this year. So basically, if you guys know betting odds, 3.5 is not a number. What you have to do is bet 3 games or 4 games. Would it go over 3.5 or over 3.5? That's the bets and odds of that year. So coming into the year, one thing about Mississippi State, we had the highest recruiting class in 2025 when we were 18 in the nation in recruiting class. Also, when we talked about 2015, that was an amazing season in 2015 when we had 7 4-stars and 23 stars that year. Also, we have had a top 30 recruiting class since 2015. One big deal, right? And we also had 13 straight bowl games appearances. Very, very good. There's not too many SEC teams that can say they went to 13 straight bowl appearances, okay? Even though last year and the year before we weren't that good, after the death of Mike Leach, we had to deal with Zach Arnett, and now we have Jeff Lebby. Jeff Lebby came from Oklahoma. Will he bring some of that Oklahoma offense to Mississippi State? We will see. As you know, last year we had Blake Shapen get injured and was out the rest of the year during Game 4. Now we had Michael Van Buren to step up. And Michael Van Buren was a good quarterback. I look forward to seeing him playing this season, but he transferred. And now we have Blake Shapen again. Blake Shapen will have a full year of starting for the Mississippi State Bulldogs if he doesn't get hurt. So now we're looking at only 3 10-win seasons in school history for Mississippi State. We had a 2014 10-win season, 1999, and 1940. Only 3 10-win seasons. The reason I'm telling y'all this because this is what kind of program we have, and we have to do better. Now, when we talk about the strengths of Mississippi State, Blake Shapen returned from season-ending injury. He would be helping us out on the offensive end. When we talk about running the football, Devin Booth would be one of the best running backs in the country, and we would need him to be very productive in our offense. Now, let's talk about the best player on the team. The best player on my team, I think, is Isaac Smith. Isaac Smith is one of the best DBs in the nation. A safety that led the team in tackles. Even though he led the team in tackles, I don't think that's a good thing when we talk about our Mississippi State Bulldogs. You can't have your safety lead the team in tackles. What that tells me is the offense is getting too far downhill for the safety to take the tackle. You should have linebackers leading team in tackles. That's just how I feel. Your linebacker core and your front 7 has to be better, Mississippi State Bulldogs, in order for us to compete in the SEC. Now, when we talk about our weaknesses, we're adding 60 new players to the roster. We also have a problem with our defensive line and our linebackers. We also have a weakness in offensive line and wide receivers, and we must get that better ASAP. We must get better in all those areas. Now, we're going to talk about our schedule. Let's talk a little bit about our schedule. Our schedule now is very tricky, and this, again, will be one of the hardest schedules in the country. Now, let's find out what we can do with it. Let's talk a little bit about Mississippi State football schedule. Guys, the first game of the year, August the 30th, we're playing against Southern Miss. Those of y'all that are from Mississippi, that are familiar with Mississippi, know that this should be an easy game. Psych. It would not be an easy game. Guys, Southern Miss has the reigning, defending Sun Belt champion head coach, Charles Huff. And now with Huff came with the quarterback from Marshall, came with the defensive coordinator from Marshall, and 17 more players came from Marshall with Coach Charles Huff. So, therefore, Southern Miss would be a different team. Even though they won 1 game last year, they win way more games than 1 this year. So, even though I do think that Southern Miss will be good, I think that Mississippi State will win this game and start off their year 1-0. But do not be surprised if Southern Miss comes out with the victory. It would be a bad time for Coach Jeff Lebby if they lose this game. Also, let's talk about Arizona State. Arizona State are a team that went to the college football playoffs last year, it would not be an easy game. It would be a hard game. Arizona State beat Mississippi State last year 23-30. And a lot of people did not know that Arizona State would be good. They was very impressive when they beat Mississippi State last year. Game number 3 against Alcorn. Go ahead and mark your calendar. Go ahead and mark this as a W, Mississippi State fans. This will be an easy win for us. Northern Illinois. Let's count this as a W, even though this is a team that beat Notre Dame a few years ago, not too long ago. But, however, Mississippi State will come out on top. I do not expect Mississippi State to lose this game. I expect Mississippi State to be 3-1 before they face Tennessee. Tennessee, a team that lost a lot. They lost Nico. They lost Dylan Sampson. They lost 3 offensive linemen and 3 wide receivers. However, they will keep that defense that they had last year. This would be one of the best defenses in college football. And also, they beat Mississippi State 33-14 last year. This would be an L for Mississippi State Bulldogs. Going into Texas A&M game. Guys, Texas A&M will be one of the best running attack teams, one of the best defensive teams in college football. Another L for Mississippi State before the bye week of facing the Florida Gators. The Florida Gators coming back with one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, DJ Latway, and one of the best defenses in the SEC. Another L for Mississippi State. This is a brutal schedule. Another L for Mississippi State. I'm not even going to talk about the Texas Longhorns. October 25th, it will be an L for Mississippi State. November the 1st, this could possibly be Mississippi State's first SEC victory. However, when we're looking at Taylor Green and we're looking at that wide receiver core and that running game for Arkansas, it will be a nail-biter game. I think Mississippi State can pull it off. However, I want to take Arkansas badly, but I'm going for my heart this game. I'm taking Mississippi State. Georgia, you might well count that as an L, y'all. Georgia will beat the brace off Mississippi State, and it won't even be close. Missouri, same thing. Here's the bye week before Ole Miss. The Ole Miss game will be one of the most important games of the year. It is an in-state rivalry game. However, Mississippi State will come out on top. So what I have, Mississippi State is beating Southern Miss. Mississippi State is beating Alcorn, Northern Illinois, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. I got Mississippi State going 5-7 for this season. That is a big impact from going 2-10 the year before. Thank y'all. Be sure to hit that follow button and smash that like button. This is your boy Vision. Follow me.